Japan's approach to World War II was an industrial paradox. While the giants of the West, the United States and the Soviet Union, focused on the mass production of heavy, standardized armor, Japan developed what historians call a Galapagos evolution of military technology. Today, we are documenting every significant vehicle used by the empire, from the legendary to the experimental prototypes that never saw a battlefield. This isn't just a list, it is the definitive catalog of Japanese steel, the Tankettes Type 92 Jyu-Sya. This was one of Japan's earliest tankette designs, originally developed to support cavalry formations and reconnaissance units. It saw heavy use across Manchuria and northern China. Lightweight and agile, it offered good mobility, but its thin armor left crews highly vulnerable in combat. Type 94 TK, often regarded as the workhorse tankette of the Imperial Japanese Army. It was inexpensive to manufacture and easy to maintain, making it ideal for rapid deployment and scouting missions during the early years of the war. Its speed compensated for its limited protection and firepower. Type 97 TK. This model introduced meaningful improvements over earlier tankettes. It featured a fully rotating turret and improved visibility for the crew. The design proved flexible and saw action across a wide range of theaters, from mainland Asia to island campaigns. Type 95 Hago. This became Japan's primary light tank throughout most of the conflict. It performed well during early operations in Malaya and the Philippines, where enemy anti-tank weapons were limited. However, its 37mm gun and thin armor quickly became outdated as Allied armor improved. Type 98 Kenai. Developed as a potential replacement for the Hago, this tank offered improved speed and better sloped armor protection. Unfortunately, industrial priorities and material shortages meant only a small number were ever produced and deployed. Type 2 Kido. An evolution of earlier light tank designs, this version mounted an upgraded 37mm gun, intended to improve anti-armor capability. Production numbers remained low, and its battlefield impact was limited. Type 4 Kinu. This unusual late-war hybrid combined the turret of the Type 97 medium tank with the smaller Hago chassis. The cramped interior reduced crew comfort, but the heavier armament increased firepower compared to earlier light tanks. Type 89 Igo. Japan's first domestically produced medium tank, the Igo was heavily riveted and relatively slow. It performed reliably during early campaigns in China, but was withdrawn from frontline service as more advanced designs became available. Type 97 Kaiha. This became the standard medium tank of Japanese forces for much of the war. Its low-velocity gun was effective for infantry support, but it struggled when facing well-armored Allied vehicles. Type 97 Shinhodo Kaiha. A major upgrade over the original Kaiha, this variant featured a high-velocity 47mm gun that significantly improved anti-tank performance. It represented the most capable Japanese tank commonly encountered by Allied forces. Type 1 Kaihi. This improved medium tank introduced a fully welded hull and thicker armor protection. It retained the same effective 47mm gun, but saw limited production due to industrial constraints. Type 3 Kainu. Often considered the pinnacle of Japanese medium tank development, the Kainu mounted a powerful 75mm gun designed primarily for homeland defense. Most units never left Japan before the war ended. Type 91 Heavy Tank, a massive multi-turret prototype developed in the early 1930s. It was slow, complex, and mechanically demanding. Only a small number were ever built, making it more of an experimental platform than a practical combat vehicle. Type 95 Heavy Tank, another multi-turret heavy design weighing roughly 26 tons. It proved overly complicated and slow for effective battlefield use and was ultimately considered a technological dead end. Type 2 Kami, Japan's most widely recognized amphibious tank. It utilized detachable pontoons for flotation during amphibious landings. Once ashore, the pontoons were discarded, allowing it to operate as a conventional light tank. Now let's move on to self-propelled guns and tank destroyers. Type 1 Honai-I, Japan's first dedicated tank destroyer and self-propelled gun. It mounted a Type 90 field gun on an open fighting platform built atop a modified medium tank chassis. Type 1 Honai-II. This variant prioritized fire support rather than direct anti-tank combat. It carried a short-barreled 105mm howitzer, making it effective against fortified positions. Type 3 Honai III, the most refined version of the Honai series. It introduced a fully enclosed armored fighting compartment, improving crew protection. Only a limited number reached operational service. Type 2 Hoai. Designed specifically for infantry support, this vehicle mounted a short-barreled 75mm howitzer in a rotating turret. It saw combat in the Philippines. Type 4 Horo. A massive self-propelled howitzer armed with a 150mm weapon. Although slow and cumbersome, its firepower was devastating against hardened targets. Continuing with armored cars and personnel carriers. Type 92 Chiyoda, an early armored car used primarily by Japanese naval landing forces. It was based on commercial vehicle components adapted for military service. Type 91 Somo, a dual-purpose armored car capable of operating on both roads and railway tracks. It played a key role in securing rail networks across occupied territories. Type 95 Sokai. A dedicated armored railway vehicle used extensively for patrol and protection against guerrilla attacks along strategic supply routes. Type 1 Hokai. The standard tracked armored personnel carrier of the Japanese Army. It provided good cross-country mobility and could transport up to 12 infantrymen. Type 1 Hoha. A half-track armored personnel carrier influenced by Allied designs. It was primarily used for mechanized infantry transport, though production remained limited. Vickers Crossley armored car. A British design acquired early by Japan. These vehicles influenced later domestic armored car development. Sumida M2593, an early armored car sometimes confused with other Type 91 variants. It played a role in early border operations in China. Next are engineering and specialized vehicles. SS Kai, also known as the Saukusaju Kai. A heavily armored engineering vehicle fitted with massive mine-clearing rollers, cranes, and battlefield engineering equipment. Type 97 Kaiyu. A specialized engineering conversion based on the Kaiha chassis. It was used primarily for obstacle clearance and mine removal. Type 95 Raikai. A tracked recovery and engineering tractor used to tow heavy equipment and recover damaged vehicles from the battlefield. Now let's examine trucks and transport vehicles. Type 94 six-wheel truck. A highly successful medium-capacity military truck that formed the logistical backbone of Japanese operations in China. Type 97 four-wheel truck. A lighter utility vehicle used for rapid transport and officer mobility. Its four-wheel drive capability improved performance in rough terrain. Type 1 six-wheel truck. A standardized wartime logistics vehicle designed for simplified production and resource efficiency. Toyota G1. Early commercial trucks that were quickly militarized and pressed into service as the conflict expanded. Toyota KB and KC series. Mass-produced utility trucks that formed the core of Japan's motorized transport fleet. Nissan 80 and 180 series. Militarized commercial trucks commonly seen across supply routes throughout occupied territories. Toyota Tsukai. A tracked amphibious cargo vehicle designed to move supplies directly from ships to shore during amphibious operations. Isuzu TX40. A robust pre-war civilian truck easily adapted for military logistics roles. Moving on to staff cars and light utility vehicles. Type 95 Kurigane, Japan's most iconic four-wheel drive vehicle. Compact, durable, and versatile, it served extensively as a staff and liaison vehicle. Toyota Model AA. One of Toyota's earliest passenger cars, often used for transporting senior officers and administrative duties. Nissan Model 70. A comfortable mid-size passenger car assigned to command staff and headquarters transport. Type 93 staff car, a standardized military passenger vehicle designed for durability and reliability. Type 98 passenger car, a streamlined late-war design emphasizing production efficiency over luxury. Toyota AK command car. Japan's answer to the American Jeep, used for reconnaissance, command transport, and utility roles. Next are tractors and prime movers. Type 92 5-ton prime mover. Used to haul heavy artillery pieces and equipment. Type 92 8-ton prime mover. A larger variant designed for extreme towing capacity. Type 94 4-ton prime mover. Widely used for towing divisional artillery. Type 95 13-ton prime mover, a massive track tractor optimized for difficult terrain. Type 98 4-ton prime mover. An updated standardized design with improved reliability. Type 98 6-ton prime mover, used for medium artillery transport and ammunition hauling. Komatsu 3-ton tractor. A compact track tractor for light engineering work. Type 1 Hokai tractor, an armored recovery vehicle based on the Hokai chassis. And finally, motorcycles. Type 97 Rikuo. A licensed Japanese version of the Harley-Davidson motorcycle, used for dispatch and scouting. Type 93 military motorcycle, often fitted with a sidecar for cargo or machine gun crews. Kurogane tricycle, a simple three-wheeled utility vehicle used for light transport and courier duties. Type 98 military motorcycle, a standardized dispatch and patrol motorcycle. Type 97 armored motorcycle, a rare experimental design fitted with light armor for courier protection missions. As we look back at the steel ghosts of the Imperial Japanese Army, a clear picture emerges, not of a lack of genius, but of a lack of time and resources. Japanese vehicle design was never about building a King Tiger or a Pershing. It was about surviving a war in the mud, the jungle, and the surf. They built tanks that could swim, trucks that could navigate the trackless wastes of China, and motorcycles that could outrun the fastest scouts. The industrial legacy, it is a fascinating historical footnote that many of the names we saw today, Toyota, Nissan, Isuzu, and Mitsubishi, didn't just survive the war, they were forged by it. The ruggedness of the Type 94 truck paved the way for the legendary reliability of the modern Toyota Hilux. The air-cooled innovation of the Kurogane 4X4 set the stage for Japan's future dominance in the automotive world. When you see a modern Japanese truck today, you are looking at the distant, peaceful descendants of these wartime machines. The human element, but beyond the steel and the specifications, we must remember the crews. For the men inside a Type 95 Hago or a Type 97 Kaiha, these vehicles were often their only protection in a world of high-velocity anti-tank fire. Operating a riveted tank in 1944 was a testament to a specific kind of desperate bravery. They knew their machines were outclassed, yet they pushed them to the absolute limits of mechanical endurance.